Living with a narcissistic woman is like living in a factory that runs every hour of the day, producing only one product: self-doubt. It is relentless. Every interaction, from the smallest conversation to the biggest decision, moves you toward the same painful question: am I the problem here? This is not normal relationship tension. It is not the healthy friction of two people with different views learning to work together. It is a system built to chip away at your confidence and distort your reality. She is not simply disagreeing with you. She is reshaping the story so you are always at fault. You wake up already cautious, scanning for signs of what might set her off today. You go to bed reviewing your words and actions, looking for the one that must have caused the latest blow-up. Over time, you stop questioning whether you are wrong and start assuming you always are. In the beginning, it can feel subtle. Disagreements end with you apologizing, even when you cannot see what you did wrong. She frames situations so that every outcome points to your mistake. Over time, you start carrying blame for events far outside your control. If she has a bad day at work, you must have distracted her the night before. If she fights with her sister, it must be because you did not offer the right kind of support. If she feels financial pressure, it is because you did not earn enough or manage the money the way she would. Slowly, this constant reassignment of responsibility builds a version of you who may still be competent everywhere else in life but doubts himself completely at home. In a healthy relationship, partners stand side by side against challenges. Here, you are opponents in a match she controls. The real rule is not fairness, it is that you can never win. The topic itself does not matter. You could suggest a restaurant and she will find a problem with it. You could plan a holiday and she will list every reason it will not work. You could offer a thought about your children's education and she will counter it before you finish. The goal is not discussion, it is to ensure you are always on the defensive. Even physical and emotional intimacy becomes part of this control. Early in the relationship, closeness may be offered when you follow her lead and show agreement with her choices. Later, it is withheld without warning, leaving you confused and wondering what you did wrong. When you try to address it, she makes you feel selfish for wanting a basic human connection. Eventually, you stop asking. You reach a strange place where you still crave intimacy, but fear showing that need, because you know it will be turned into a weakness to use against you. Your world shrinks as she works to remove your sources of support. Friends and family are pushed out one at a time, each exit wrapped in a reason that sounds reasonable at first. One friend drinks too much, another is a bad influence, another is jealous of your relationship. The explanations differ, but the pattern stays the same. They are removed from your life. Meanwhile, her friends are beyond criticism, no matter what they do or say. As your circle gets smaller, she becomes your main and sometimes only source of emotional feedback. Without outside voices, her version of events can start to feel like the truth. She keeps you running harder for approval by making sure nothing you do is ever enough. At work, your success is always diminished. The promotion came too late, the raise was too small, the recognition was overdue. At home, every chore is examined and found lacking. The dishes were washed, but the counter was not cleaned well enough. The lawn was cut, but the edges were uneven. The repair took too long or was not done exactly her way. As a father, you are either too strict or too lenient, too involved or too distant. This constant dissatisfaction is not an accident. It is how she keeps you striving for validation that never comes. Sometimes she pauses the criticism, giving you a rare moment of peace. Not because she is content, but because the short relief will make you work even harder to earn it again. Blame is shifted in ways that do not make sense. Events that happened before you even met are somehow linked to you. If her ex cheated, it means you cannot be trusted. If her parents were critical, it means she must guard herself against you. Sometimes she rewrites the past entirely. A time when you sacrificed to support her becomes a time when you failed her. If you try to correct the record, she accuses you of being defensive or manipulative. Money often becomes another tool of control. Even if you earn most or all of it, she positions herself as the decision maker. Your spending is wasteful. Hers is necessary. You start asking permission for things you should be free to decide for yourself. Over time, you stop making independent financial choices because everyone is challenged or overruled. The message is clear. You cannot be trusted to manage even your own resources. One of the most effective tools she uses is the threat to leave. It may not be shouted in the middle of a fight. Often it is quieter, more calculated, a suggestion that maybe the relationship is not working, that she might walk away. It hangs in the air as a warning. The message is that your place in the relationship depends on obedience. You start avoiding conflict, not because the issue is small, but because you fear the threat of abandonment. Eventually, you stop voicing your needs entirely. Together, these patterns create what is called a trauma bond, a cycle where periods of mistreatment are broken by short bursts of kindness. Those rare positive moments feel more valuable than they should because they are so scarce. You convince yourself that if you try harder, you can make them last. People on the outside may not understand why you stay. They are not inside the loop of tension, conflict, and temporary relief that keeps you hooked. The brain begins to treat those rare good days as proof that things can be fixed, that the person you first knew is still in there. In reality, those moments are part of the trap. Breaking free starts with recognizing the pattern for what it is. This is not an ordinary marital disagreement. It is a deliberate framework for control. You have to reconnect with people who knew you before this system took hold. You have to hear other perspectives until you can trust your own again. You must accept something difficult. You did not cause this, and you cannot fix it by being more agreeable or more perfect. No amount of effort will make a system built to keep you down suddenly start lifting you up. Some relationships are so damaging that the healthiest choice is to leave. Not in anger, not as a way to punish, but because you understand the game is designed so you can never win. Walking away does not mean you failed. It means you chose not to spend your life in a battle you cannot win. It means you value your peace more than her approval. You are not the problem. You are not her emotional caretaker, her punching bag, or the endless source of solutions for her unhappiness. You are allowed to protect your own mind, your dignity, and your future. You are allowed to walk away from anything that demands you lose yourself to keep it. Sometimes the only winning move is to step away, and in doing so, reclaim the life that has been quietly slipping away piece by piece.